The awareness of sights and sounds and feelings and sensations, the awareness of all of that is not a form. It's not a thing, like a foot's a thing, or a hand's a thing, or even a thought is a thing. A feeling is a thing. It's a subtle thing. You can describe it. You can share its experience with someone else. But that which all these things occurs to and within, that very simple presence, that presence of awareness, that presence which is itself aware and conscious, is not curiously a thing. There is an aware presence. And so, all sensory perceptions, everything that comes in through our senses, is being awared by awareness. It's being recognized by awareness. Even the most subtle thought forms, me, that can be seen to be something that is being awared. When you get very close to subjective experience, then there is even I am. And that's also something that is occurring within awareness, occurring to the presence of awareness. And so the real task of a real teaching, certainly initially, is to simply draw attention. Not seek it, not strive it, not try to understand anything, but to simply draw attention to the experience that actually everybody is having. Everybody is having, ultimately, I should say, that which is experiencing your experience is universal. Right? Your experience is what is different. The experience in that body is different than the person that's next to you, and the experience there is a little different than the person next to you. But that presence of awareness, that consciousness to whom the experience is happening, it's universal. It's the same as the person next to you, and the person next to them, and the person next to them, and the person next to them. It's not a thing, though, is it? One's own presence of being, one's own awareness, the fact of consciousness itself. But it is there. It is the awareness of what you see, the awareness of what you think, the awareness of what you feel. And so the most important thing is to simply begin to recognize the presence of your own being as an awaring presence of being. Now, the amazing thing about the awaring presence of being is it doesn't matter if you understand it or not, it's still happening. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, it's still happening. You can totally disbelieve in the awareness of presence of being, and your disbelief is happening within and being recognized by awareness. So it doesn't matter if you believe it, if you don't believe it, if you want it or you don't want it, if it's of interest to you or not of interest. The central core of what you are, it's there, before you even understand anything about it. And so simply coming into a recognition of it, not trying to grasp it and wonder how it fits in with this theory and this theology and that, but willingly suspending the mind's activity for a moment. It'll be there, I'm sure, when you want to go back to it. You don't have to be concerned. It may be there whether you want to go back to it or not. But a willingness to suspend the attempt to grasp, to understand, to explain, to conceptualize, and allow all the energy that usually goes into that you may have needed during this day. You may have needed energy going into conceptualizing and analyzing and figuring things out. That was probably part of most of the people in this room, the work you did today. It was necessary to utilize those capacities. But in order to really come into a deeper recognition of your own presence, that movement of analyzing and grasping and figuring out, the energy of it must be allowed to come back, to relax from that sort of relentless pursuit of becoming. And so even as I'm speaking the words, these words are not what's important. These words are themselves being heard by awareness, by the presence of your own being. So the words in themselves are not what's important. It's the presence of your being that's important. And if you've forgotten that presence of your being, your life in one way or another, in one form or another, will be a constant search for it.